Good afternoon to all the students. Yesterday we have started our discussion on the expressions and the types of expressions, and we have seen few examples of converting the infix expression to the prefix expression. So in today's session also we will continue with the same topic of converting the infix to prefix. Right. So I think yesterday we have completed this a plus b and a plus b minus, and this is also completed, right? Third one.
Yes, sir.
So let us solve the fourth one. The expression that is given is a dollar b. What is dollar here?
Exponentiation.
Exponentiation, right? So how many operators are there here in this expression?
5, sir.
Dollar is there, star is there, division is there, minus and plus. Total 5 operators are there. Right. Okay, total count we are not going to bother about it, but a variety of operators are there. There are 5 different varieties of operators. But even though you have so many operators, the first and foremost thing you have to solve is the sub-expression which is present inside the parenthesis. Right or not? So you have to solve this expression first, this sub-expression, that is g plus h has to be solved. So you write everything as it is: a dollar b star c minus b plus e by f by, and how can you convert this g plus h into prefix x?
Plus GH.
Plus gh. And as I told that, you please put a overline over this so that you can identify it as a single operator. Now tell me, what is the operator that we have to solve here? First of all, you have to exponentiation. First of all, you have to go for the precedence of the operator. As yesterday we have discussed that dollar is having the highest precedence than star and division, and star and division are having highest precedence than plus and. So dollar has to be solved first. Therefore, what will be the expression we will get here? It is dollar a b.
A B star.
You no. You put a overline over this so that you can identify it as a single operator, right? And then we have star c minus d plus e by f by and plus gh. So again, don't forget to give this to overlay. So after that, what expression we have to solve? What sub-expression we have to solve?
Multiplication.
So we have multiplication and 2 divisions here, right? And division and multiplication are having the same precedence. So when we have the same precedence operators, then the concept of associativity comes into existence. And according to the associativity of star and division, they are left associative. Therefore, you start scanning the given expression from the left hand side, and whichever operator comes first, that should be evaluated. So when I scan the expression from the left hand side like this, I encountered this star, and therefore that has to be solved first. So what are the operands on which the star is operated?
Dollar A B and C.
Dollar AB is one operand and C is another operand. Therefore, dollar AB, C and star. Again, don't forget that you should treat this entire sub-expression as a single operand, right? Therefore, I put a overline starting from the star up to 60, right? And after that, I have minus D plus E by F by plus GH. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now again, in this expression, we have 2 division operators, this one and this one. Again, both the division operators are having the equal precedence according to the associativity is left associative. Therefore, the first division, this particular division has to be solved first. Now tell me the expression. It becomes star dollar ABC. Don't forget to put the overline here. Minus D plus. Since this this division is operating on E and F, we have to write it. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the next operator that we have to solve?
Divisions.
Division. What are the operands that are being operated by this operator?
Division EF and plus GH.
Yes. Division EF and plus GH are two operands, right? Now, when you solve this expression, it is dollar star dollar ABC minus D plus what happens here? This division comes here. Right? Therefore, division EF plus GH. Now you have to consider this entire thing as a single operand. So how many operators we are left with right now?
2, sir. 2, sir.
Minus and plus.
2, sir.
Both are having the equal precedence, and since the operators are left associative, minus has to be solved first. So what will be the expression? It is first you have to write the left operand. It is star dollar ABC followed by the operand to D, and you have to place this operator, that is minus, has to be placed before the operands. Now how many operators we are left with?
Only 1, sir.
One,
Only
sir.
one. Right. So there are two operands, that is minus star dollar ABCD and division EF plus DH. Right. So when you convert it into prefix expression, it will become plus minus star dollar ABCD division EF plus D. So this is the equivalent prefix expression for the given infix expression. This one. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So we will solve the next problem, that is fifth one. Give me some time. We'll leave this to check whether we have done it correctly or not. The solution is plus minus star dollar ABCD division EF plus D. So we got the correct answer. Let us solve the next problem, that is this one. What is the expression we have? A plus B star C minus D minus E dollar F plus. So this is the expression we have. Let us convert it into the prefix expression. Right. So if you observe this expression, you can see that there is a inner parenthesis also, right? So this A plus B and D minus C are kept inside another parenthesis, right? Therefore, we call these sub-expressions as the innermost expression. Innermost sub-expression. So when we have some innermost sub-expression, it is customary that you solve the innermost sub-expressions first and then the outer sub-expressions. Like that, you keep on going. So the solution or the conversion should always start with the innermost expression. Right. So here we have two innermost expressions, that is a plus b and d minus c. And the choice lies in your hand only, right? Either you can solve the left innermost expression, that is a plus b, you can solve it, or you can solve the right innermost expression, that is d minus. Anything is finally you will get the same answer, right? But as a convention, as I told, that you always start with the left hand. It is just a convention. So what is that I have to solve here? I have to solve this a plus b first, right? So it becomes plus ab. Is it right or not? Somebody please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it is d minus e, and it is dollar, and then f plus, and after that the innermost sub expression d minus e has to be solved. Therefore it becomes plus
Plus
ab
the
star c minus minus
C.
c. This is dollar, and then f plus. Again we have this sub expression and this sub expression within the parenthesis. You can solve anything. Let us continue with this one. So how many operators we are left with in this sub expression? This one, two operators, that is star and minus.
Minus.
And there is no confusion, right, that star is having the highest distance than minus. Therefore this has to be solved first. Therefore the expression becomes star s a b c minus minus c, and it is dollar, and it is f plus. And we are left with only one operator, that is minus, and it has to be solved. It becomes minus star plus a b c minus b, and this entire thing has to be considered as a single operand, and it is dollar, and it is f plus. Now again what we have to solve right now?
F plus G, sir.
What is the solution?
Plus F.
Plus,
Plus FG.
and we are left with only one operator. You just convert. It becomes dollar minus star plus a b c minus d plus f. That's it. So this is the corresponding prefix expression for the given infix expression. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now can anybody tell me what happens to the last one, that is sixth one? What is the answer?
Sir, minus A by B star C dollar D.
So first you have to solve this, therefore it becomes dollar DE, and then star C and B by minus. Is this the answer? You got it?
Yes, sir.
Minus A by B star C dollar DE. Right. So I'm not going to explain it how we got it. Why? Because we have done a lot of things, and D by D dollar E, therefore this has to be solved. Therefore I got this one. After this I solve this one. Therefore I got star C dollar D. Right. After that division has to be solved. Right. So it becomes by division B, and this is the second operator. And then we are left with only one operator, that is minus, and then I have solved. Right. So is it the correct answer? You got it? Have you tried or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let us check whether we got the correct answer. The answer for the fifth one is dollar minus star plus ABC minus DE plus. Right, super. Next, what about the sixth one? It is minus A by B star C dollar D. So this is how we can convert the given infix expression to prefix expression. Using this is the manual method, right? You can solve it directly without making use of stacks and all these things. So if you make use of stacks, then it takes some time. Why? Because you have to draw the table, and you have to take the contents. You have to read each and every content separately, or you have to read the token separately, and then based upon the algorithm you have to solve. Right. but this method should not be used for your theoretical examination, right? This is just a shortcut method, you can say like that. It is a shortcut method which you can use it for the competitive examination. But theoretically, when you answer a question in your examination, then this particular method is not used. And when you write something like this, you won't get sufficient marks, right? So I will tell you how we can solve this, or how we can convert the infix to postfix using stacks with an algorithm that you should practice, right? Now let us practice how to convert the infix to postfix. The same method you have to follow, but the operators has to be placed after the operands, right? Now tell me what happens, what is the postfix expression for a plus b?
AB plus.
AB plus, sir.
Okay. What about this a plus b minus c?
ABC plus
AB plus
minus.
C minus, sir.
ABC plus c minus, right? What happens to this one, third one? I think it is AB plus CD minus star, right? Why? Because I have to solve this one first. It becomes AB plus, and after that I have to solve this. It becomes CD minus, and star has to be operated last. Therefore, it has to be placed. Right? It is AB plus CD minus star. Can anybody tell me the answer for this one?
काम करता
Please write it on your paper and then tell me the answer. We'll check whether you got the correct answer.
डेटा स्ट्रक्चर
सुने ऐसे चेंज जरूर
दूर आगे दूर चंका सब करेंगे कृष्णा प्रिपेयर
आप ही दादा चीज के
कैसे रखा पड़ेगा
अब किताब पे ले रहे हैं
Right. So did anybody tried this and tell me what is the answer? You got it?
ये भी डॉलर सी स्टार डी माइनस एफ एच प्लस डिवीजन प्लस
D minus.
एफ जी एच
Tell me slowly what answer you got it. A, B, dollar,
डॉलर सी स्टार
star,
डी माइनस
D minus,
ई एफ जी एच
E, F, G, H. Okay.
प्लस
Plus,
डिवीजन प्लस
you did somewhere mistake here. Like what the answer is dollar C star D minus EF by GH plus by plus. So there is a mistake in your answer, man. Please solve it. Please correct it.
ओके सर
What about the answer for this one, fifth one? Please try it and tell me what is the answer for the fifth one. I'm getting like this, FG plus. This is It is AB plus C star DE minus A plus 1. I got this answer.
Yes, sir.
Anybody please respond whether you got the correct answer.
Sir, we got, sir.
Okay, AB plus C star DE minus FP. What about the sixth one? I got the answer like this. A, B, C, D, E, dollar, star, division, minus. Don't know whether it is correct or not, but I tried it. So what is the answer you got? Anybody please respond.
Sir, AB minus DE dollar C star by, sir.
So this is the correct answer. A, B, C, D, E, dollar, star, division, minus. So this is how we convert a given infix expression to the postfix expression using the conventional method, which is a shortcut method, which we have explained right now. Right. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, you listen to the next topic very carefully. Why? Because this is very, very important topic with respect to the examination point of view as well as the subject point of view. Okay. So we are going to deal one more application of stats where we are going to convert the infix expression to the postfix expression. Okay. So this is the algorithm we are going to use for converting the infix to postfix. Listen carefully. It's a very simple algorithm, but to try to understand it in a easier manner, I will try to explain it in a easier manner, and you try to remember it all. So in this algorithm, we are reading the tokens from the left hand to the right hand side, and the postfix expression is generated. So what is the input for this algorithm? What is the input for this algorithm? Right. What is our task here? To convert the infix expression to the postfix expression. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
tell me
sir.
what will be the input for this algorithm.
Infix.
So it is an infix expression. Super, right? And can anybody tell me how do you take the infix expression? What data type supports the expression, infix expression? For example, I want to give the infix expression as A plus B. Right. Now tell me what is this? How should I consider this A plus B? Do I need to consider it as a integer value, or do I need to consider it as a floating point, or characters, or strings? What is that you need to consider?
Sir, strings, sir.
Strings. Therefore, the input for this algorithm is nothing but a infix expression, which is nothing but a string. So once you get the string from the user, that means once you get the infix expression from the user, you have to scan the infix expression, or you have to read the infix expression from left hand side to right hand. And when you read the expression, you have to take each and every character from the string. So when you start reading this symbol or this expression from left hand side to right hand side, so you have to take the first symbol as a token. And when you increment the pointer, you have to take a pointer like this. So the first element that is pointed by the pointer has to be taken as token, first token. And after doing the necessary processing, what you have to do is you have to increment the pointer such that it points to the next location or the next element. So this we call it as the second token. So after processing with the algorithm, you increment the pointer and the pointer is pointing to the next token, right? Like this, you have to process the given infix expression. Is it clear or not? Now tell me what is the output you will get? What is the output?
Postfix expression.
Postfix expression, sir.
It is postfix expression, which is again a string, right? Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what can be the inputs, or what inputs can we take for the infix? Means you can either take an alphabet, uppercase alphabet starting from capital A to capital Z, or the lowercase alphabets starting from lowercase a to lowercase z, right? Or else you can also take the numerical digits from 0 to 9. So these two things are considered to be the operands. What do we call it as? We call them as operands. So operands can be either capital A to capital Z, or small a to small z, or they can be digits also. Right. So again, in the infix expression, we may come across an operator like this: plus, minus, star, division, exponentiation. So you can come across these type of operators. Right. Other than these operands and operators, you may also encounter the opening and closing braces. This one is open brace, and this one is called as closing brace. So in an expression, you may come across the operands, you may come across the operators, and you may come across the braces also. Right. Not only the parentheses like this, you may come across this square brackets, or you may come across the curly brackets like this. But most of the time we won't go for this one, right? So we'll be using the parentheses only. Is it clear up to this point? Now we came to know that what contents can be there inside an infix expression. An infix expression may consist of operands, it may consist of operators, and then the braces, closing brace and opening brace. So when it is clear, we can move forward to explain the algorithm. Algorithm is very, very important, and it is very easy also. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the algorithm consists of 4 steps, where we will explain each and every step. If it is an alphabet, what we have to do. If it is a digit, what we have to do. If it is an opening bracket, what we have to do. And if it is an operator, what we have to do. This is nothing but the algorithm, right? So according to step 1, if the entered character, that means if the token read is an alphabet, don't worry about the uppercase or lowercase. Any alphabet you take. When it is an alphabet, when the token that you read is an alphabet, the following action has to be taken. This is a very simple action where you have to print that alphabet as the output. That's it. We'll see it with an example. Don't worry. But for this point of time, you please remember that when you come across an alphabet, you have to just print that alphabet onto the output. That's it. Remember that point, right? Similarly, step 2 says that when you come across a digit, that means when you read the token as a digit, digits means starting from 0 to 9, then also you have to print the digit as the output. That's it. So when the simple concept, it's a very simple thing that what are these alphabets and digits? They constitute the operands. Is it right or not? Alphabets and digits means
Yes, sir.
operand. So when you come across an operand, what you have to do? Only one task, you print it as output. That's it. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now coming to step 3. This is somewhat complex than the previous one. So when the entered character is the opening bracket, when the entered character is the opening bracket, then the following action has to be taken. What is that? You just have to push that opening bracket onto the stack. So whenever you come across a opening parenthesis, nothing to do, you just have to push it. That's it. So what is the step 3? It's a simple thing. Whenever you come across this opening parenthesis, what is that you have to do? push that symbol onto the stack. Right. So if any operator appears before closing parenthesis, then push it onto the stack. Right. So until unless you come across this closed parenthesis, when you met some other operator before this closing parenthesis, again you have to push every operator onto the stack, right? And this one is important, step 3.3. So whenever you get the corresponding closed parenthesis or closed bracket, then start removing the elements, that means nothing but the pop operation, from the stack until this corresponding open parenthesis is removed, right? This you have to concentrate more. So what he is saying is, whenever you come across a closed parenthesis like this, what you have to do? You have to pop, you have to perform the pop operation. Up to what point you have to perform the pop operation means until you come across a corresponding opening parenthesis, right? So this is what you have to do. Simply remember these concepts. Whenever it is an operand, print it as output. Whenever it is an open parenthesis, push it onto the stack. Whenever it is closed parenthesis, you have to repeatedly perform the pop operation until you come across the corresponding open parenthesis. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And the last step, step 4, is very important. We are done with the operands. We know what to do with the operands. Whenever you come across operands, just print it as the output. We know what to do with the parenthesis. When it is an open parenthesis, just push it onto the stack. When it is a closed parenthesis, you have to repeatedly pop the stack until you come across a corresponding open parenthesis. And what is that we are left with? We are left with the operators. This is very important step. Please concentrate. So when the entered character is an operator, then the following action should be taken. What is that action? You have to first check whether there is any operator already present in the stack or not. So you have to check whether the stack is empty or not. You have to check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, then push the operator onto the stack. Right. So if it is an operator and stack empty, what is that you have to do?
Push operator onto the stacks.
Super, right? You have to just perform the push operation, right? And if present, that means if the stack is not empty, listen carefully. This is very important. This step is very important. Right? So whenever you come across an operator, you have to check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, then you just push it onto the stack, right? But if the stack is not empty, this is very important. You have to compare the priorities of the incoming operator and the priority of the operator that is present on the top of the stack. What priorities you have to check? You have to check the priority of the incoming operator. That is nothing but the token you have read, with the priority of the operator that is present on the top of the stack. Right? Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So what you have to do, by after comparing the priorities, what you have to do means, listen carefully. So there are two operators. One is the token and the second one is the element on the top of the stack. Right? So if the priority of the incoming operator is greater than the priority of the operator that is present on the stack, what is that? We have two operators. One is the operator token, which you have read, and the next operator is which is on the top of the stack, right? So if the operator that you priority of the token is greater than the priority of the operator that is present on the top of the stack, you have to perform a push operation. That means, let me give a simple example. Let us assume that the operator that you have read is star, and the operator that is present on the top of the stack is plus. Right? What is the priority of star when compared to that of plus?
Greater, sir.
It is greater, right? So I have plus here, and my incoming operator is star. I have to check whether I can place this star above this plus or not. That is what we are doing here, right? So I compare the priorities of the incoming operator, that is star priority is compared with the priority of plus. So since star is having the highest priority than the plus, you just have to perform a push operation. That's it. Right. Let us see the reverse case. Listen carefully. This is very important. So let us see the reverse case where the top element of the stack is star and the element I have read, the operator that I have read is plus. What is the comparison we have? Plus operator is having the less priority than the star. Is it right or not? So the priority of the incoming operator is less than the priority of the operator that is present on the top of the stack. So in such case, you cannot place the low priority operator on top of the high priority operator. That's what you have to remember. What is that point? The low priority operator cannot be placed on top of the highest priority operator. So what you have to do is, you have to perform two operations here. First, you have to perform a pop operation, pop and print. What is that you have to do? You have to pop and print. Print means nothing but you have to print it to the output. Right. So this is removed. So when you pop this element, this is removed. And then you have to perform the push of the token. What is the token I have read here?
Plus.
Plus, sir.
Plus. Therefore, you have to push the plus here. This is what you have to do. Right. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now listen.
Yes, sir.
Now listen. We'll take another case. We'll take another case where I have plus here. Where I have plus here. That means the top of the stack is plus and the token that I'm reading is minus. Now tell me, what is the priority of minus when compared to that of plus?
Equals.
Same priority.
Equal, right? So when the priority of the two operators is equal, then also you have to follow this rule only. What is that rule? That means you have to pop the stack and print it as the output, and then you have to push the new token. Therefore, this plus is removed from the stack and it is placed as the output, and you have to place the minus inside the stack. Right. So we modify this one, right? So whenever we have an operator which is having the less or equal priority than the operator that is present on the top of the stack, then you have to perform the pop operation first, and then you have to push the new token. Right. But if the operator that you are reading, that is the token priority, is more than the top priority, top element priority, then you just have to perform only one operation, which is nothing but the push. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll see it with an example, but right now we'll just summarize the thing. Right? We'll just summarize the thing. Now tell me, we have three things. One is the operand. What action you have to perform when you come across an operand?
Printing the operand.
Super, right? You have to print as output. What is the output here? It is nothing but the postfix expression. So when you come across an operand, you just place it in the postfix expression string. That's it. Next, what you have to do when you come across the opening parenthesis?
Push it, sir.
Super. Right. You just have to perform the push operation. And what is that you have to do when you come across the closed parenthesis?
Popping, sir, until we reach open
So you have to
parenthesis.
pop the stack number of times until you come across the corresponding opening parenthesis. Right. Pop until you come across the opening parenthesis. Right. And the last one. This is very important. What you have to do when you come across an operator? What is that you have to do? First thing is you have to
You
check
need to
the
check.
stack. You have to check the stack. So if it is empty, what you have to do?
Push the operator into the stack.
Super. You have to push the operator. Right. If the stack is not empty, then what you have to do?
We need to check the priority of the operator and the
So if the stack is not empty, you have to check the priority of token, compare the priority of token with the priority of top element. Right. So if the priority of token is greater than the priority of the top element, what you have to do? Greater means what you have to do? The greater priority element can be placed on top of the stack. Therefore, you have to perform a push operation. Next, if less than or equal to, that means if the priority of the token is less than or equal to priority of the top element, you have to perform two steps here. One is pop and output, and then push off token. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you remember these steps, and then we will simply solve an example problem. Then your doubts will be cleared. Right. Let me take a word pad and so that I can explain clearly. Can you see the screen here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the let me take a simple example. Right. What is the input here? What is the input for the algorithm?
Infix expressions.
So it is an infix expression. Let me take the simple solution, simple expression, that is a plus b. So what is the output? It is nothing but the postfix expression. Right. So when you solve such type of problem, that means conversion of infix to postfix using stacks and the algorithm, you have to draw a table. Right. The first one is serial number. Just give me 1 minute. Can you see the screen here? Can you see the table where I have divided the table into 5
Yes,
parts?
sir.
Yes. So there is no standard procedure, and I don't say that this table is the standard thing you have to follow, right? So this is how we follow. I follow, and where you can score good marks here, right? If you follow this particular thing, right? So serial number means it is nothing but first step. So what is the first step you have to do? You have to scan the given input expression from the left hand side. So what is the first token you got?
Operands.
It is A, right? A is an operand, right? So when you come across an operand, you just initialize a stack. Let me take the size as 4. So if it is a token, what you have to do? It is an operand. What you have to do?
Printing, sir.
Printing, right? So action you are going to perform is print as output, right? So what will be the contents of the output? It is nothing but A. Is it right or not? So after reading the first
Yes.
token, you have to increment the pointer such that it points to the next element. So what is that you have come across here? What is the token that you have read?
Operators.
Okay, tell me the symbol.
Plus.
Plus.
Less, sir.
Right. Whenever you come across an operator, what is that you have to do according to the algorithm? You have to check whether the stack is empty or not. Is the stack empty here or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
If the stack is empty, what is that you have to do? You have to perform a simple push operation. Right. So what is the action you have done here? You have to write it here like this. Push off plus. Are there any changes in the output?
No, sir.
No. So therefore, you have to write as it is. Now, you increment the pointer such that the pointer points to the next element, that is B. So what is the token you have read here?
Operands.
B, which is nothing but operand, right? So let me draw the stack contents as it is. So when you come across an operand, do you need to change any contents of the stack?
No, sir.
No, right? So plus. And what is that you have to do here?
Printing.
Just print out.
Print as output, right? So I get it as A, B. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So in the algorithm, you have to include one more step. So when you reach the end of the string, when you reach the end of the infix expression, if there are any operators that are left over on the stack, then you have to pop each and every operator and place it as the output. Right. So what is step 5 there? You have to add. You have to add it as at the end of the expression. At the end of the infix expression, pop all the elements from the stack and place it as the output. Pop and right. So you have reached the end of the expression. Now what is that you have to do here? You have to pop all the elements from the stack and place it as the output. So we have only one element plus inside the stack. Therefore, you pop it and place it in the output. So what is the corresponding postfix expression for this A plus B?
AB plus.
AB plus. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So let us extend this problem, right? A plus B, let us do with the minus C. Now tell me, after reading B, what is the next token that is read?
Minus, sir.
Minus, right? Whenever you come across an operator, what is that you have to check? You have to check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, just push it. But if the stack is not empty, then the actual process comes into existence. That is, you have to compare the precedence of the incoming operator with the precedence of the top of the stack. Now tell me what happens to the precedence of this minus and plus.
Equal.
Equal, sir.
When it is equal, what is that I have what is that I told you, right? You have to perform
Pop and-
two operations. One is pop and print, and then
Push
push
the
off token or push off plus or minus. Okay? Sorry. So you have to push this operator, right? So what happens to this plus? It comes, it is popped and placed as the output, and the only operator that is present inside this stack is minus. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now you read the next token. What is the next token?
C, sir.
C. Therefore, the contents of the stack remains as it is. That is, minus is placed in the top of the stack. And what is that action you have to do here?
Print as outputs.
Print as output. Super, right? So it becomes A, B plus C. And once you reach the end of the expression, you have to check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, nothing to do. But if the stack is not empty, you have to pop the stack element by element and print it as output. Right. So you have to write that action, pop and print. Therefore, the corresponding expression becomes, I am writing here, it is AB plus C minus. Is this the corresponding postfix expression for the given infix expression or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So we will see some more examples in tomorrow's class. Right. We will see some more examples and we will try to complete the next application of evaluating the postfix expression. Right. We will also try to complete the second application also. Is it clear up to this point how to convert the infix to postfix?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Just to have a recap, you just remember when it is an operand, you have to perform the output operation. That means you have to print the given operand as the output. If it is an opening parenthesis, push it onto the stack. Don't worry about what contents are there inside the stack. When it is an open parenthesis, just push it. But when it is a closed parenthesis, then you have to perform the pop operation repeatedly until you come across the corresponding opening parenthesis. Right. And the third step is when you come across an operator, this is very important. You have to check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, you just perform a push operation. If the stack is not empty, then you have to compare the priority of the token with the priority of the top element. If the priority of the token is greater than the priority of the top element, then you have to perform a push operation. But if the priority of the token is less than or equal to the priority of the top element, then what you have to do, you have to perform a pop operation and print operation, and then you have to push the incoming operation. This is what you have to perform. So by this, with this knowledge, we will try to solve some more examples in tomorrow's class with complex. Right, we will include more number of operators and we will include more number of parentheses also. We'll solve the 1 or 2 examples in tomorrow's class. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, one and all. This is the end of today's session.